In Matthew 7, Jesus warns his followers against false prophets like wolves in sheep's clothing who come in among the people of God and lead many astray. My name's Sam. I'm a pastor at St Jude's Anglican Church, serving Melbourne Uni students.
My name's Bryn, and I work with the Christian Club here at the University of Melbourne, the Christian Union. Now, over the last couple of years, we have seen a real increase in the activity of cults on and around our campus. The cult members, they try to lead people away from Jesus, and they are persistent and effective in doing this.
The most prominent group here is called Shincheonji, and also goes by other names, and there are other groups operating on Melbourne Uni and around the Melbourne Uni CBD.
So this video aims to help you understand and respond to these groups, and we hope equips you to think about how you or a friend might be drawn into one of these cults. How do you know if you've been approached by one of these cults? These groups, they tend to operate with a high level of secrecy. So they're almost never going to tell you exactly what their group is called or why they're talking to you. These conversations can sort of happen in chance locations, places like Melbourne Central, Melbourne Uni, or other areas in the CBD. They might start with a compliment about something you're wearing, maybe a question about directions, or leading into a survey or something about religious belief. After they have these conversations, they might then try to invite you to an event or one of their Bible studies, or perhaps even to meet one of their mentors. The thing to notice, though, is that all of this is shrouded with a high level of mystery and secrecy and vagueness. Have a look, for example, at this Instagram post about one of their events. Note how vague the event is. It simply advertises including DIY arts, fun activities, and friends. The account name is vague, and it provides no connections to any church or Christian club other than just a picture of trees with hands. The account too has been made with only 13 posts, which is common of these sort of burner accounts used by cults. You'll notice too that the event isn't held on a campus, even though it claims to have the support of 5 different universities. But if you go to any of their university web pages or clubs and societies links, you won't find any mention of these events.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with inviting someone to an event or sharing faith with someone, but these groups have developed a philosophy that justifies deception in order to bring someone to salvation, which is found only in their group. So group members are willing to lie and deceive, to obtain and share and exploit information about people. And group members have even been known to build friendships and dating relationships in order to bring people into the group. And the New Testament tells us that this will happen. In Romans 16 and 2 Corinthians 11 and 2 Timothy 3, we see false teachers coming in among God's people, attempting to lead people astray. So we shouldn't be surprised, and we need not panic that this is happening.
So if you think you might be talking to someone from one of these groups, the best thing that you can do is to ask good questions. Ask what the name of their group is called. Ask if you can check out a website, or maybe see any material that their group has taught. And if they're asking you these things on campus, well, then you can ask them whether they are affiliated with the university and where you can see them on the student union page. If any of their answers are a bit vague or mysterious, or they don't quite answer them or dodge the question, then these are real red flags, and you might be talking to someone from a cult.
If you think your friend might be part of one of these cult groups, here are 4 things that you can do to help them. First is to talk to your pastor or another Christian leader and ask them for help. Second is to ask good questions of your friend about the group and their experience in the group. If they don't know answers to the questions, or their answers are evasive, that's probably a clear red flag. Third is to be a faithful Christian friend to them. These groups prey on loneliness and the need that we all have for community. So be a good friend and help them to be strengthened by strong Christian community. And fourth is to pray for them. No cult group or leader is stronger than the God of the universe. So as we pray to him, we trust that he hears us, and as our good Father loves to answer our prayers. There'll be some people watching this who've become part of a group that matches a lot of what we've described here. If that's you, please know that it is never too late to leave. God will never give up on you, and his people will never give up on you. If that's you, here are a few things that you might do. Read up on the group that you're part of. They'll discourage you from doing this, but they have no reason to do so if they have nothing to hide. There are lots of podcasts, Reddit threads, news articles, and blogs from people who have stepped out of Shincheonji and other groups and who have found freedom in doing so. Don't stop going to church. If they haven't done so yet, then the group which you're part of will eventually ask you to stop attending other churches or Christian groups, unless you're going there to recruit. God's church is wide and diverse and rich, and that's wonderful. Talk to someone. Whether you've only had initial contact with a cult member or gone to one of their events or been attending for a while, if you are starting to feel suspicious about the group, then it can be really helpful to talk to someone. If you're part of a church, then talk to your pastor. If that won't work for you, then Bryn or I would be able to listen to your experiences and offer advice. We'd be happy to arrange a catch-up with someone who's had past experience with cults. Finally, for all of us, we don't need to be afraid, because we worship a God who is absolutely sovereign and who loves each of his children jealously and fiercely.
Now, we do need to be alert about the dangers of groups like Shincheonji and other cults, but we don't need to fear them. God has promised that he will build his church and that the gates of hell will not prevail against it.
Jesus himself says to his church, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world."